Hey guys, so today I'm here with Captain from JDM Masters and Ken C1 Tokyo on Instagram, and we're going to be answering a few of the questions which you've asked us on Instagram as we walk around DAIKOKUFUTO, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And you guys excited?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yep. Notice anything different?
Two guys with hair, one guy with no hair.
Yeah, so we're here with One Punch Man.
Albo, you mean?
Yeah, Albo, yeah.
Yeah.
Also known as
Don't forget.
You can call me Satama.
Saitama.
Yeah.
Or Vin Diesel.
Filipino Vin Diesel.
Start of the Fast and Furious franchise. Anyways, let's go look at some cars. So this is definitely one of my favorite cars here tonight. Look at that S660. This is pretty much how I want to modify the S2000. Like, I wish a body kit like that existed. That looks sick. That looks so aggressive. And that's a K car with a tiny engine, but man, if only it was 40% bigger.
Then it's an S2000.
Yeah.
You already have one. So we got our first question. Do you feel that Japanese car enthusiasts are more friendly here than in other nations? What do you think?
Well, I think, Japanese people have a reputation for being a little bit more reserved, but when you come here as a foreigner, those same rules of social interaction don't really apply. And because, we're all car fans, we're all car enthusiasts, I think it's really easy to start a conversation with people.
It's very important to also be polite. I mean, taking photos of cars or touching cars is really not good.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You have to be very respectful.
Yeah.
Still be a jerk, basically.
Exactly.
And you'll have a good time, I think.
Here, it's like actually okay to take pictures of random cars, and because people are here to show their cars off. That's what they come here for. But then, once you're in more like low-key places, that might not be taken as, well.
Why don't we just show our cars real quick? So we got my new Banana Roadster. We have Captain's beautiful EK9, and we also have Ken's new to him R32 GTR.
Someone actually asked the question in my Instagram live.
Yep.
Is this the same car that was owned by a Midnight member? Actually, this car was actually.
Well, there's only one way to find out. Bit of a special JDM artifact inside there. If you want to take a quick look.
The next one is, once you were in Japan, how did you start meeting people in the car scene?
I think the number one thing is you just go to places where people hang out with cars. Maybe if you're in the countryside, you can just go to a convenience store. If you see a cool car, just say, "Hey, nice car."
How did you find out where people were meeting up for car meets?
Just look it up on the internet. I mean, pretty easily you would find, like, you're watching this video right now, so this place we are at, DAIKOKUFUTO, is kind of famous for cars. So figure out a way to come here and just try to start a conversation with somebody. That's probably the best way, I think. Just make some friends in person. That's important.
Well, the internet and social media is very, very helpful, of course. I think that's how Japanese also meet other car enthusiasts. Especially they connect on the net first before they meet up at certain popular spots.
Yep.
PAs on the highway, in Hakone, for example. I think you said also in a convenience store, right?
And also, what's good? Messaging people on Instagram. Just start
Making
a
direct
friendship.
contact.
Yeah, just like commenting for a while, and once you have built a little bit of rapport, send them a message.
Japanese also can handle simple English on Instagram because it's just
and you can handle simple Japanese. You can use Google Translate. It actually works pretty good.
It's much easier now than when I came 15 years ago. There was no social media.
Yeah.
It was really hard to find out where people gathered, and I randomly went to some PAs and people were there. I started talking to them.
But to that end, I mean, like, if you make a friend who doesn't speak any English, that's actually the best way to learn Japanese because you're forced to learn. And
it's by immersion.
By immersion, right? And it doesn't feel like a chore. It feels like you actually have some reason to learn it.
Absolutely.
In your life, it makes it a lot more fun. So that's a good question. Good question.
So this question here: why do people in Japan really like the look of USDM cars, and when did that start to happen?
There's pockets. There's so many different pockets of car culture that I think it has. It's a niche that is pretty small, but I think it might be growing actually.
Car culture being exchanged everywhere. JDM.
It's kind of being reverse imported back to Japan. The original culture was from Japan, exported to the US, and now reverse imported back to Japan. It's kind of strange, but really, really, really wacky, but really interesting.
And here's the next question, which is related to that. How popular is the JDM car culture in Japan now? Is it getting less than before? I would say yeah.
But I think it's going under a resurgence because of the internet, because of the popularity that's coming from overseas. you have, you know, like really nice RX-7s, which are still in really good condition.
Oh,
You have the
that-
Supras over there.
That is actually quite.
This was quite nice.
Older
Yeah.
JDM style, where it's functional, and like for example that red FC in the corner there, over here.
Uh-huh.
See, that to me is more JDM because it's pure. You see, he doesn't have a huge, strange body kit.
I guess it depends on what our definition of JDM is.
So my JDM is from the 90s, where it's functional. You have wheels and suspension and parts which are, you know, functional, not for looks. Even if they were looks, it's for a purpose. Like a GT wing is there because this guy tracks the car. What's your definition?
I would tend to agree with you. I think I think when you start talking about stance and things getting super stance out, I think that is kind of diverting from the original ethos of Japanese car culture. So if we're talking about the original style, I think there are still people who are trying to keep it alive.
Yeah, but come on, Albo, you can't disagree. This looks much better and pure than a full body kitted, you know, rocket bunny.
I think they both have their place. I think it's great when you can see them side by side, so you can see the evolution of the culture and how it's gone to like it's taken on different expressions. So
it's also a matter of taste. Taste
Yeah.
is getting very diversified now.
maybe a better question, an interesting side question is car culture as a whole dying out in Japan, or is it?
I think it's definitely getting smaller. The amount of people who are interested in cars is definitely a lot less than in the 90s. And a couple of guys that I've talked to,
That's right.
in their
Can't
50s.
afford it.
Yeah, they can't afford it. But aren't people a bit now, you know, like younger people more interested in games than
Yeah,
anime?
it's a cultural thing. Yeah.
They can't afford it.
They can't afford it. So you think if they could afford cars, what's the reason cars are less affordable now to young people? They earn less or what?
I mean, the car culture is still there. You know, when Auto Salon has the biggest ever audience in the past 20 years.
It's because of the girls. They go there. Half of them go there to see the
That
girls.
too.
That's what we go for.
That's what we go for too. So yeah, old 90s style, clean, functional, and they spend all the money restoring it. Well, how about
Yeah.
this legacy behind us here? This is a bit of a weird mix. It's got these funny snorkels coming off the bonnet, but overall, like the back, the Subaru.
Yeah.
It's apart from a
A
catalog.
lot of them are quite wacky. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't afford a Impreza, that's why.
Exactly. Nice question over
So
here.
next
I'm actually quite thirsty. Let's get some coffee or something.
I've got Premium Boss as my favorite coffee.
But we can't share because of coronavirus.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I'm not saying you have it,
No,
but
no,
just
no,
in
I'm
case,
not letting you have it.
probably do.
Get your own.
Okay. Anyway, I don't like black coffee.
You don't like black coffee?
No,
Nope.
not that hardcore.
It's just keeps me up all night.
I like the rainbow one. Actually, I like emerald blend.
Dude, you like Red Bull. Anyway, is it hard for a foreigner to be accepted in the Japanese car community? Was it hard for you?
I mean, I kind of had an in because I had a friend who was already in the culture. I think the harder part is just making that first friend. And once you make that first friend, which is actually not that much harder than making any type of friend, but you already have that common interest, it's actually easier.
Side question. Is it necessary to turn up with a car in order to be in the Japanese car community? Because I think sometimes in Japan they associate a lot with if you have something, then you're part of the group.
Not necessarily.
Yeah?
I don't think so. Because maybe you had a car from back home or something. Like I see a lot of folks who come here they're tourists, right? And they obviously didn't come here with their car. Maybe they rented a car from a motor rent or something. Just be your friendly self. And it's the exact same thing. Maybe show them your Instagram. Be like, hey, this is my car.
Definitely helps if you have a car and you come and exchange stuff, but not necessarily. If you are not nice and you're not willing to approach and be humble and open,
Yep.
you're probably not going to make any friends anyway.
So my favorite here, guys, is the Hashiriya coffee.
what coffee is your favorite around here?
Black.
Why black? So you like me? Like black.
I just don't drink creamy or sugary coffee, period.
Stoic. He's too stoic.
Take it like a boss.
Take it. He takes it.
Yeah, man, I think Boss coffee is my favorite. Premium Boss.
Kind of looks like me, right?
Nah, he's
No.
got more hair than you, mate.
Yeah.
Damn it.
And he's in his 50s.
Okay.
引き立てのミル引きコーヒーを
Better than
お買い上げありがとうございました
Quick question, why is Japanese vending machine fresh coffee better than Starbucks?
because the guy inside makes really, really good coffee, and he works overtime, as is the case in Japan. You know, people tend to do long hours of overtime.
That's not true, right?
You mean the overtime or the guy inside?
No, it's the music that makes it better.
Anyway, next question for both of you. What music scenes blends in with local cars? What kind of tunes do you guys play when you drive around SEMA?
Trance.
Why trance?
I like to play music without lyrics a lot, just because I don't want to like think about the lyrics when I'm driving. I don't like to do other things while I drive, so you know, just blends into the background.
What you got?
You know what I've been listening to a lot lately? Classical music. While we run the loop.
We're getting more refined now, are we?
There's just something classy about it.
It's your age.
Yeah. Actually, no. I put the top down. I don't listen to anything.
You just want to hear that
VTEC.
VTEC screen.
Exactly,
No.
just VTEC.
It's because if you put the top down, you can't hear the grind in your gearbox.
Damn it.
So okay. For me, if I go into downtown Tokyo, I play city pop.
Yes, that's the correct answer. Yeah, if you're driving through Shinjuku, it should be city pop.
And if I go on the Shitoko,
Ginza.
I play Dance with the Dead. And it
That's
just
sick.
hypes up that beat.
Yep.
If I go on the Toge, I play nothing. I used to play Eurobeat when I first came.
yeah,
but I play
you're
nothing because I need to
You need to
hear
hear
the
the
tires.
tires.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So that's the
I
correct
play
answer.
Eurobeat only when I'm on my way to the Toge, and then once I'm there, I don't actually play anything.
I listen to Stan's Eurobeat from his car.
Daikoku is the trance music they play here.
Yeah, exactly. From the bands, what do you call it? The
Onkyozoku. Yeah. Onkyozoku literally means like sound tribe, as if like it's like a some sort of like gang.
And zoku is a very common suffix that's appended to the end of a lot of different words, right?
Like bosozoku.
Bosozoku, kaidozoku,
Banana
zoku.
So we got this question here. Baldus Albo.
What?
Why did you tell us why you decided to
That
shave
was
your
not
hair?
on the questions list.
But everyone's wondering. Everybody wants to know. So
You might as well tell us.
Just answer it. So the real reason is because I want to be as aerodynamic as possible to gain those last few seconds on the toge. Now the actual reason is, to be honest, for the past few years I've been getting more and more concerned about like a receding hairline and like a little bit of a bald spot at the back of my head. And I was thinking, hey, it's 2020, it's the middle of the year. I want to do something crazy. I want to do something that kind of takes ownership of my appearance. So I thought I'm just gonna shave my head, see how I feel about it, and actually I feel great.
Well, at least you can save on shampoo.
Yes, but I spent a lot more money on shaving cream, so it kind of balances out.
By the way, I shaved my head just like yours 2 months ago. Now I'm back to this.
See, you have really, really good hair genes. It's kind of not fair, but you know what I'm actually planning to do is go to Korea and do a hair transplant.
Why not just do it in Japan?
Expensive.
I think it's gonna be much more expensive,
Yeah,
to be honest. Yeah.
Anything medical related, it's pretty expensive here.
While you're there, would you do any plastic surgery?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You should make yourself look like Vin Diesel, exactly.
I will be a completely different person by the time I get back. Okay.
So the next question is, overall, do you consider driving in Japan safe? Are other drivers respectful, and do they follow the rules?
That's a good question because it's definitely very, very noticeable. I think in general, Japanese drivers are much, much better drivers than Canadian drivers. I think this has to do with the fact that in general, Japanese people are they like to obey rules.
People hate getting in trouble here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. First of all, they hate confrontation, and they hate confrontation with the police. That's like, I guess that's universal, but I feel like it's more extreme here. Like people want to abide by the rules because they don't want to get bothered, Especially in Tokyo, where you have people who, prefer privacy. They just don't want to go out looking for trouble in any way.
Japan is becoming a bit more strict and hammering down on irresponsible driving, which is a good thing.
I agree.
Yeah.
I like these. Look at these. Pugo.
Ghetto style.
It's like the Best Buy logo and the In-N-Out logo.
Ah, right.
Right? That's pretty cool. I love logos like this where it's kind of a play on another company's famous logo.
So there was a question. Somebody asked about, are European cars more are they becoming more popular in Japan than JDM cars?
I hear within like track enthusiasts, like the Audis and Porsches are becoming a very popular weapon of choice just because they're so reliable nowadays, I hear.
But you know what I think? It's because there aren't any new JDM cars as much as before. Like you see that ND Roadster in
Yep.
front of us. That's the last of the JDM cars that is still pure to its original concept. Everything
Right.
else is, like a 35 GTR is very expensive new. MR2, all this, they're all gone. So what if you want to buy something new and it's sporty, unfortunately it's the European cars that do have interesting paper specs nowadays.
All right, so let's see, it's just about 12. I finished that coffee,
getting
so
late.
I'm gonna be up all night. Yeah, it's pretty late.
You shouldn't have drank it.
Yeah, but for the video,
It's so good, all right.
it is pretty good as well. It's so much sugar. I'm pretty hyped up now. But I think we should end the video. Maybe we can do one more question.
Okay, so this is what's next? What's the big picture in terms of the JDM Masters page and also for you, your channel?
Well, this is the big question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It really is. And this is something that we have been planning for the past couple years.
We're gonna go beyond YouTube this time.
We are.
We're gonna try and do a very massive appeal documentary, car culture and lifestyle, so that everyone can watch it. So
Yep.
for the JDM Masters channel, it's going to be even more of in-depth car reviews, factual stuff, shop reviews, car lifestyle. Whereas you're doing documentaries.
Wait, what about on your channel? Your personal channel?
So that's going to be like an extension of JDM Masters where I go into very detail about certain things and also my point of view, which I don't give in the main channel. What I think a lot of people are asking me, what I think of this car, that thing, and this. So I'm going to be doing that and a lot more other stuff as well.
I think that'll be great. Me personally, what I want to get into is some more narrative stuff. So in the future, I really want to make a movie. So I'm hoping we can make some short movies and just kind of practice that. It'll be really fun.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, some like mini love stories set in the world of car culture, Japanese car culture. It'll be
awesome.
really, really cool, won't
And
it?
who knows, you'll be able to star in your own movie. I mean, you're already looking like Vin Diesel, so why not? Right?
Halfway there.
Yeah, some can.
So the other aspect that we're going to try to work on is actually to make a show. So we're trying to produce a show. We've been talking to a lot of different studios. There's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes and things are moving. So thank you guys for all your support with that aspect, and hopefully you'll be able to pull it off and figure it out.
If you guys have any comments or suggestions, let us know on his Instagram or my Instagram, and we'll get there. We'll definitely get there.
We'll do our best.
Yeah.
So thanks guys for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video, all right? Peace.